Public service announcement. The enemy closest to you will never show their true colors.
Hmm.
Oh shit.
Well, what do we have here? This ain't the sports end game, people. Welcome to the asylum. And as you see here, I got my brothers with me. So before we get to the topic at hand, I'm just gonna give a shout out. First of all, man to the left is a guest in the asylum, brother of ours. Y'all know him as Coach Unchained. Tonight, he Mr. Slap You.
Mr. Slap.
Mr. Slap You.
I just got to look at some guns today too.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Woo!
Woo. I just broke out into a sweat.
I just saw a gold AK-47.
Wait. Did it have the banana clip? Did it have a banana clip?
It had a like the 12, well, 16 rounder, and it wasn't was it curved? I can't remember, but I know it was gold.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that's right there.
I got pictures of some
Right.
I'm in clothing now. I need to see that.
Yeah, right below him, you know him as Mad Mike Sports. Well, tonight he is Eastside Mike. Don't ask me why he's Eastside Mike. If you know, you know. And
Hello.
30379.
San Diego getting ready for the big.
My bad. I'm up.
and then below me, last but not least, y'all know him as Pie May. Tonight his name is Tiger Style.
AKA the demon of Tiger Hill. How about that?
I'm gonna get to the chat since we got people coming in tonight. We got in pole position. We got ATL Leo, one of the family. Yeah. Get your popcorn ready. We got King Treyway. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's going on? We got Keyshawn Vlad. Hey, if y'all haven't seen, the man he's writing impeccable articles on Twitter. Make sure you check him out. We got Millie Mills. He said, "Hey, coach, you won't buy it though."
Not for $2,500.
No.
Not today, anyway.
No. That's the price of a good box Chevy. We not doing it.
They're not accurate anyway. They just shooting that thing. I don't know. They just spray.
Yeah.
Like a dude, they can control themselves.
What you say? You ain't gonna pay $2,500 to just shoot all over the place. Like use matches.
It's a waste of time.
It is. That puts intimidation on.
Y'all up here buying guns y'all can't even control.
Right. See, I'm gonna give y'all some heads up on that. If you really about that gun life, then you would understand the grain of the bullet is what determines if you can control the gun or not.
I said 7 that shit. No, it's 7.2.
The heavier it is, the harder it is to keep aim on it, and the recoil makes it difficult to hold the weapon. But again, y'all don't do your homework, so that's for another topic.
Well, don't do that. I ain't got time to explain about no damn gun while we talking about guns. So shut your ass up.
Yeah. Billy Bill say it's gold, coach.
It's gold there. For my daughter, I'm telling you, I picked them, put them on the
No. Oh, who that just snuck in here? Wait a minute, Kev, is that you? What? Are you?
No. Yeah, I told you the demon of Tiger Hill had a whole bunch of tricks.
Hey, I'm like, what the hell? Man, he teleported.
I'm motherfucker in two places at the same time.
I am in China now.
See, I told you that's that Tiger Style. That's the dual Tiger punch. All right, man. Look, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this one time. All right, we can laugh together, we can talk together, we can bullshit together. But what we not gonna do, there's no time where none of us on this screen gonna take disrespect from nobody. All right. So I see you. I see you. You know who I'm talking about. I see you. And I know where I'm gonna go. I know where I'm gonna deal with the situation and you from now on, from going forward. I ain't gonna say it again. Take that how you want. Take that how you want. These right here, these my brothers. It is what it is from here on out. That's why that's why I'm gonna leave it.
No, we are, if you're talking about, we already know who gassed it up. We already know who allowed it. So
Right.
at the end of the day, you go different. Like you said, I'ma just say, if somebody tells you I'm coming to see you, them fighting words right there. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if you playing or not, because you can't play like that. Don't tell somebody you about to come see him, because if you don't do it and you get called up, that's not a good look.
I'm gonna say what I said to another person. Keep your promise. Don't disappoint me. I don't forget. Keep your promise.
Mm.
Don't disappoint me.
I already know exactly who. I already know exactly who gassed that response up anyway. So, and I think everybody already kind of knows who gassed it up anyway. So, like I said, that was just a lapdog yapping. That's all. So
So
I
so
just leave it at
so basically, and we have and this is a side situation, but this is something that needs to be talked about before we get into the football aspect of things. So we tiptoeing the other men's beds now. That what we
Huh?
doing? So
Oh,
I'm
What?
gonna say it. I'm gonna
you
say it again.
tiptoeing in the bed.
I'm gonna say it again. And I want this to hurt. And I need this to hurt. And if it hurts, I'm talking to you. So we tiptoeing the other men's beds now? Cause see, I was taught as a man, men don't do rah-rah stuff. Men don't lay down and have discussions with each other. They sit at tables and they hash things out, whether it be anything in the news, whether it be anything personal, whether it be debates or anything. And I was also raised to think that men take care of business the way men are supposed to, up front, in person, have a conversation. See, we ain't in the age bracket of high school no more. And whatever I can say on here, I can say to somebody's face. Now, however that conversation go after that, that's fine. But I don't have to lead with disrespect. But at some point in time, when you're trying to handle business, you can't be laying down with other men talking pillow talk. Cause see, where I come from, that's that fuck shit. Like my cousin say, you can't run a business and be bending over at the same time,
Unless you did it.
right?
Wow.
And you see what that got him. He gonna do a whole lot of bending over.
Mm.
But this the shit I'm tired of, because every time we do something, like I'm like this. If I don't like a person, I'm not fucking with you. I'm not thinking about you. I'm not talking about you. You cost too much money. I waste money thinking about not shit niggas. My brothers on here, they'll let you know. Hey, it cost us money to think about your stupid ass. Got niggas swinging from nut sacks, niggas swinging from trees, niggas want to take trips. This ain't house. This is not house niggas of Atlanta. Snitch and tell this. Go over here and tell that. What the fuck are we doing? Don't quit your day job, pumpkin. Don't quit your day job. And the funny thing is, we don't bother nobody. So I must be a hell of a nigga if you got the pillow talk about me. I'm a hell of a nigga. I'm fat. I'm fat. I'm fantastic if you got to talk about me. You know, we got. Oh, keep that same image. I'm gonna drive down that seat. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. We got zoo animals talking shit. We got bloated marshmallows talking shit.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm going down the list, Mike. We got zoo
But
animals.
we
We got
don't need no list. We don't need no list, one. We don't need no list, okay? We don't need to talk about no zoo animals, okay?
yeah, we do. Don't feed them. Don't feed them. You said take your kids to the zoo and say, Johnny, don't get near that cage. Don't feed them. While they looking ashy in their habitat, don't feed them. But you know what?
And hold on, Walt. And before I let you finish on that, so we already know what the next play is going to be. Is going to be a lot of backdoor bitching and moaning,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to hear from this shit again on some backdoor bitching and moaning. So, hey,
Yeah, yeah.
it just comes with the territory.
You know what, Kev? Go ahead and give your thoughts on this because I know you've been. I know you
I
got some
mean,
stuff to get up get this. Yeah,
I
go.
mean, the thing about it is, at the end of the day, rather you have an opinion, rather you're talking and you're keeping it football, rather you have differences of opinion. The disagreement is fine. That's what you want. I just think the bad move is trying to threaten a fight with somebody because you can't prove your point. I think that's a weak look. That's a weak mindset. And to be honest with you, and the fact that you did it on a platform that did not need that to happen on, that ain't good. It makes people look weak. But like I said before, I know exactly who gassed that up because this is the same shit we deal with all the time. This is like the third or fourth time we done dealt with this shit in the last 2 years from 4 different people. So so
Let me
so
do this
so
before we
so
go
so so pretty much all I'm gonna say is it's about to get real interesting because pay attention to what the intro say. The enemy closest to you will never show their true colors unless they. But the thing about it is, when they do show their true colors, they let you know what they really trying to do. So I'm gonna just I would say go ahead, Mike.
let me make this clear. Like I said, man, we are here. We're here to serve y'all. At the end of the day, y'all support us, and it's all about opinions. It's all about opinions. That's first and foremost. But a lot of people. That's why we ask. That's why Sam has this saying of think before you type. Think before you press send. Think before you press send. And that's the same thing when you talk about being in something like this. If you're going to be in this is what I'm going to teach. So y'all, like I said, man, I already got this special on being able to sit down and have a conversation with not only me to learn how to do this type of thing because this is what we've been through. I've been doing this close to 10. Well, yeah, I've been in journalistic field, so to speak, doing radio and things of that nature for nearly 10 years. About to be it's going on shit. Yeah, it's going on about 9 years, almost 10 years. So look, I done got fired, I done got threatened to kill, plenty of times, and I don't think there's too many people out here that have been through the thing that I've been personally. So I can teach people how to kind of stay away from all types of situations. But at the end of the day, man, it's all about your ability to communicate with people, and if you have to constantly threaten people off of a topic because you're not very good at communicating what you have to say, then maybe you shouldn't be involved. And
Now,
that's just being honest. You shouldn't be involved. Hold on, because we're not gonna stay on this long. And
I know.
because like I said, man, we're about serving the people. And I'm telling you right now, you just have to, as a man, as an adult, you have to understand that everybody's gonna communicate in the way that they see fit. Now, if you feel like you're gonna get in your feelings based on how someone communicates, then you got to check yourself and say, all right, maybe I'm not suited for being in this as I thought I was. Because everybody feel like they gonna be right about everything. And not everybody's gonna be able to deal with somebody telling you to shut the fuck up, or they're not gonna be ready for you, you know, understand. It's like, look, this is not my show. I gotta know my place when I'm on someone else's platform. It's all about respect. You want respect, you got to get that. So at the end of the day, like I said, man, we have this saying with the Unholy Alliance: we rather pray for you than pray on you, but we will give you exactly what you're asking for.
Mm-hmm. Coach,
Yes, sir.
I know you really ain't had too much, Coach, voice your opinion and concern about it, because I know, what I'm saying. I know it's one of them things where it has weighed on you. Outside looking in, I can see it has weighed on you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and voice your opinion on it.
Well, my opinion is everybody got to be thinking about this. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody got to listen to everybody's opinion. Nobody's gonna be wrong. Nobody's gonna be right. Somebody's gonna be wrong all the time. You know what I'm saying? So just
Mm-hmm.
listen and go on. There's nothing that it shouldn't be an argument about opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. Nobody should be arguing about opinion. Okay, get your
Right.
opinion out. Okay, rebuttal. That's fine. But you can't say nobody's wrong because nobody's wrong. It's everybody has their own opinion. That's my point right there. I just hear people fussing about. I said, why are we fussing about this? Okay, you're right. Okay, he's right. Okay, he's right. Who cares? It's your opinion.
Right.
So
Move on.
it's just, like I expect, I kind of know that's going to happen because there's certain things that
Topics and
certain
people
topics
they get.
he gets triggered. I said, okay.
All right. Like I said, I don't have a problem with debate. I don't have a problem with a person standing on what they believe in. That's I would wish that for you.
Debate is great. I love
Right.
it.
I would wish for you to stand on your point, but if you can't handle somebody's tone, if you can't handle somebody's ability to stand on what they're saying, and if you're not going to do the homework, then you must be mature enough to deal with the fact that you're not going to change nobody's mind. Period. And that's being a man, not a real nigga. So we can move on. We can move on to some football now. So since we done with this bullshit, because I done lost money talking about stupid shit. Basically, Coach, you brought up a good topic earlier, and I wanted to expand on that, because if y'all haven't been paying attention, y'all need to go back and look at these press conferences we tell y'all all the time. And this is the AOA special because we don't normally do this. We usually let y'all have it on here, but Mike convinced me that we need to talk some sense today. So thank Mike. All right. Thank Eastside Mike. But Jerry
Damn.
Gray and the coaches were asked about the defense. And they even interviewed Zach Robinson about the offense. The thing that y'all need to pay attention to, and I've been real high on Jerry Gray, is the man got over 40 years of coaching experience. And when he says, hey, your pass rushers, he literally broke down what we've been saying in less than 30 seconds. He said, listen, he said, everybody talk about pass rush. He said, if your quarterback gets the ball out faster than 2 seconds, your pass rush is null and void. It's not going to matter.
It's useless.
Right. It's useless. He said, what you want, the ideal situation is you want a quarterback that's fast like that to hold the ball. And in an ideal situation, when you force the quarterback to hold the ball, you got your safeties and your corners covering. You got your linebackers, so that it jams up all his receivers so he can't throw the ball. He has to wait until somebody gets open. Then your pass rush gets home. He also said what Mike and them have been complaining about for the entirety. They've been talking about Atlanta Falcons is crowd noise. Y'all got to go make it. We got to make it difficult for the other team to hear what they're doing. But based on, if you've seen Coach Unchained show, he broke down the different rooms. Look at the last couple of slides he had with the names. And it's the reason why I'm bringing this up. And I'm going to shoot this over to you, Coach. You got to think about it. What was the biggest issue we had, and what looks like we're trying to do to turn that corner? So that we don't have situations where they're burning us 10 and 12 yards a play.
Oh, me now? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, we make it. Our DBs are better. For one, they improved on the DB room, as well as the outside linebacker room. They did a massive improvement in that room. I mean, that room is completely totally different. And I think that the whole defense is actually better. We got double. We're stacked too deep at every position right now. And I think that's going to help out a lot because nobody get tired. Somebody get hurt. Sure, we got another guy who can go in and replace him and do. Hopefully, it's the same as the guy who's getting out the game to replace him. So, yeah, the whole team to me, I don't think it's one position. I think the whole defense have actually improved in every position. So there's no greatness, no different improvement. I think all the rooms improved.
Now I got another question for you. You being a coach and understanding how teams work, from what you've seen in some of these pictures and video clips, how important is it for you as a head coach, assistant head coach, a linebackers coach, DB coach, whatever? How important is it for you to be right there with your players? You know what I'm saying? Versus standing off watching whatever's going on. How impactful is that in the mindset of your players when you're right there in the mix with them? You know what I'm saying? Like you seen Jeff Ulbrich.
That means they're going to run through walls for you. That's what they mean. If your head coach or your DC is in the mix and not just sitting on the side, he's in the mix practicing with you, it's a big deal. Okay, that man, he's showing me this, he's showing me this. You're learning as well. He's teaching. So you respect the person that can teach you to get you better because the main thing about the Falcons, they want to improve every day. Every day they practice, they want to improve each day. Because like there's 17 games, it's a 17-game season, one game at a time. Each week you get better. So, yeah, like I said, Jeff is doing a great job, man. If you hear his assistant coaches, man, they talking this dude up like he's the next coming of Bill Belichick or something. The way they talk about it. I mean, every coach is talking about Jeff got us doing this. You ain't him say Raheem he said Jeff got us doing this.
Wait, Coach, say it again. Coach, I almost took off my boxer. Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, all the coaches are pretty much praising what Jeff is doing. So, like I tell everybody, y'all, Raheem is the head coach. All right. Jeff is
Yes.
the defensive coach. And you notice Jerry Gray has more say this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Look,
it's a lot
look.
of things that you can see the difference on that defense. You can actually see the excitement from all the coaches on that defense. Last year you was like,
Really involved.
So I'm glad you said that, Mike, because I'm going to you next. So, Mike, with Coach saying how the coaches being involved builds that trust, builds that aggressiveness, builds that competitiveness, and lets them know, hey, you're doing me you're doing me a solid by teaching me how to get better. As far as the schemes, how does that make these schemes more seamless and more impactful during the games?
do your job.
Hold on, my bad. Say it again. I was looking at some booty.
Whoa.
Thanks.
She look she look a whole lot better than I thought she did. I ain't never really paid attention to it. She's a nice little thing. Got a nice little booty on her too. What was the question again?
But no, I said, okay, since Coach said that when you're down in the trenches with the players, helping develop them, showing them what to do, giving them praise, letting them know this is what we're going in the right direction. When you build that respect and rapport with them, how does that translate to making the schemes seamless on the field? Like, because it makes it a lot more explosive and dynamic on the field when you know your coach is like, yo, he was in the trenches with us all off season, all training camp. How does that make the schemes when you put them in place? How does that make that better?
Well, most it's probably not going. Forgive me if that come off the wrong way, but not all football players are smart.
That's true.
Well, that's
Not
that's
all
no.
football players are smart. They're not going to see. They're not going to learn even when they're looking at film. They're not going to. They're not going to. It's not going to click. The thing is, they can see it. You can go in the classroom and they can write it down. They know every spot they need to be in on in every play, but it's not going to click. You needed to click. That's what the great coaches do. They know how to make it click. So that's why you got guys like Brian Cox. In this instance, you got Jeff Ulbrich. He knows, like the players respect him. Why? Because he's on the field and he's showing them, all right, this is how I need you to hit this hole. You know what I'm saying? So when you got coaches like that, that when they showing you, that's the thing about if you watch. See, this is why I'm such a huge fan of Rex Ryan because he he did a breakdown on the tush push, and he was showing the defensive linemen, showing the people a visual of what he wants those guys to do. He's on the ground, he's in the dirt, he's doing it. This is why guys like Ron Washington for the Braves is so great is because he's showing them, he's on the field, he's demonstrating what he wants these guys to do. So when you see it for yourself and your coaches out here, all right, this is how I want you to do it. It clicks more than guys just saying, "Hey, I just need you to do this." So, like again, I'm saying like this. Not every football player is smart. Okay, that you need them to click. In order to make it click, what the great coaches know how to do, they know what they want and they can show you what they want. So that's why it's important to have a coach that can actually show you what he wants versus tell you what he wants. And I think, and this is just my personal opinion with Raheem, he can tell you real well what he wants, but you can tell that it's not clicking because if everywhere he's always been in the middle of the pack, at the bottom. And I'm being graceful about the middle of the pack part.
So I'm glad you said that, Mike. So now, K Styles is coming to you. Piggybacking off of what Mike said, how has that disconnect benefited Jeff Ulbrich, and how has that disconnect now put Raheem in a position where you either gonna coach or you gonna step aside and let the man show you how to coach?
Well, they made they went the route this time of experience. Experience trumps potential in this spot right here. Like you said, as far as the players being excited about the prospects of 2025, we have to look at it from this standpoint. If you use, let's say, I know a lot of people want to use Raheem Morris in LA. The difference with that is in LA, you had a lot of experienced players.
Yes.
So it's not much that you can show them. The great coaches, as what Mike said, are they have great psychology skills. You got, like you said, if you be able to, if you able to tap into the young players and get them to play into their full potential, and that's the best way to do it. Is like you said, boots on the ground, showing them. Yeah, like you said, you're like run through a brick wall. And they're gonna run through a brick wall, and they also gonna be able to basically play up to their potential. So Jeff Ulbrich right now, what he's shown is basically, Raheem, shut up, let me get this over here. You focus on what you need to do. I got this. And and like you said, with Jared Gray being more vocal this year, tells you that right then and there. Great coaches are great psychologists.
Yep. And the
Average
thing is,
coaches know how to skate through.
right. And the thing is, Jerry
Bad
Gray
coach,
go ahead, Jeff.
I was gonna say bad coaches are enablers. Now, go ahead, Juan. I just want to throw those in there.
Jerry Gray said something very interesting early on. He said, when the veterans are away, all of the rookies they pumped up. They got their own leadership language amongst themselves. He said, but then when the veterans come back in, they kind of shy, they kind of tone down. He said, but we're trying to see if these guys are gonna come in and compete and not care about the guys on the team being stars to them. He said, we want to see if you're gonna go out here and be competitive or you're gonna be starstruck. And the reason why I bring that up, and the reason why I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier. Raheem Morris is not giving Jeff Ulbrich anything. And I'm going to say this again, and I want you to listen to the words and not hear sound. Raheem Morris is not giving Jeff Ulbrich no defense. Jeff Ulbrich was hired by the organization to come in as a DC. He's going to be responsible, as you've seen him, for making sure these guys do what they're supposed to do in their position. Meaning, he'll have a defense. He don't gotta get nothing from Raheem because they came in it together. They went through teams together. They're on the same level. They just got different positions. Raheem ain't no higher than Jeff Ulbrich. Do not get it twisted.
But didn't Jeff Ulbrich say when he came here, he's going to bring in the defense that he learned from Solid and what's the other coach name? Vic Fangio. He's going to combine those and make one. That ain't Raheem's defense.
Right. Listen to this. To piggyback off of that, coach, he stated himself, I am not coming here to be buddy with him. I want y'all to see us arguing on the sideline. Meaning, I'm not about to sit up here and lay down on Raheem's bullshit when he's not trying to do right by the team. In other words, you can't give a man something when he's standing toe to toe with you. You can't. That's like OG Sam say, Madden microwave mindset. There's
Let me
no
ask
way
you a
somebody gonna
question.
give me something and I'm standing on equal footing with you. There's no way. He gonna come in here. He gonna teach these he's a linebacker. He gonna come in here and he gonna teach these linebackers what they supposed to do and keep them in a position where they thrive. It ain't got shit to
Let me
do
ask
with
you
what I like, what Mike like, what Kev like, what Coach like. It's what they're gonna do.
let me ask you a question, one.
Yeah.
When it comes down to now, there are two sides of the coin.
Okay.
When you talk about how this world began, one side says that there isn't a God and he didn't create it. And then the other side says, no, this is by chance. How do you determine how do you even get to the point where we could try to decide, try to determine, all right, which is what?
Okay.
Everybody got to they have to do one thing. You got to do one thing in order to say, all right, this is how this comes. You got to do what? It's real simple.
What's that, Mike? Go ahead and tell them.
You got to put forth the evidence.
There you go.
We can sit up here and cry and look. I don't believe there's a God, or you don't believe there's a God. Yes, there is a God. All right, show me. Put forth the evidence.
All about your belief.
Look. It don't matter. You can talk about all your opinions. Look, you can say the goddamn snowman is God.
Mm.
If it ain't no damn snow, how can you say he's a God? You have to put forth the evidence. It don't matter. Okay, if we believe this is Raheem defense or Jeff Ulbrich, show me where. Show me how he's qualified. Show me what he's done. How we know that there is a Jesus, because we got Buddha, we got Buddhism, we got
Allah.
Islam, we got Islam who say Allah, we got Christianity, we got all
We
them
got
pointing
Ja.
to we got all of these religions pointing to the same God. We got all of them pointing to the same God, just in different ways. But this is the evidence that there is a God. All I'm saying is, when you talk about Jeff Ulbrich, you talk about Raheem Morris, we can sit up here and say, "Oh, this guy's it," but you can't just say, "All right, I want y'all to follow me because I want y'all to just follow me." You gonna tell me, you gonna have to convince me. What the fuck am I going over here for? Why am I following you? You got to put forth the evidence. Your opinion means nothing. This is why Warren said what he said about Jeff Ulbrich. Jeff Ulbrich didn't look. Raheem didn't give him anything because he put forth the effort, and you seen what he's done. Not only with the linebacker crew here in Atlanta, but he did the exact same thing in Jets.
Mm-hmm.
He put forth the effort. You saw it. You saw the growth in Jeff Ulbrich. That's why they chose him to be the head coach. He wasn't given this. He ain't Raheem's lackey. He put forth the evidence, and he made a difference.
Can I
You
say this, Mike?
saw it.
Can I say this? The problem with y'all is, number one, you don't do your homework. That's number one. Number two, if your opinion was that strong, you'd be a millionaire right now just off of what you believe. Right now. You wouldn't have to work a day in your life. Everybody on this 8 billion people on this planet, they got 80 billion opinions. it would be nobody would have enough money for everybody because our opinions would be paying us left and right. But you're working your day job, so your opinion don't matter. Number two, Jeff Ulbrich stated, I am not the same person I was when I left here. And I would hope you're not, because that means you wasted a couple years up there in the Jets organization. So this man, he was a defensive player. He wasn't a beat writer. He wasn't an analyst. He wasn't on the offense. He wasn't a water boy. He was a linebacker, a former linebacker. You know your crap. That's just like coach. Even though coach drives buses, coach is a coach. That means coach has the pedigree to go out there and take a person that don't know nothing about the sport and make them into a great player if they listen. Why? Because he's done it. It ain't got nothing to do with his opinion about it. Now, let's be honest. The reason why y'all so high on Raheem Morris, because y'all like glazed ankles.
Whoa. And
y'all like Jordans, and y'all like colorful capris, and y'all like Orbit's gum, and y'all like chiclets, and y'all like y'all like greasy foreheads and cute suits. That's what you like. We want football. We want results. We done with that flashy stuff already. And this is the problem. Y'all don't want, like, coach had the numbers there. Go do your homework. See, that's like being in class. You ever know when you go to high school, when you get in one of them classes with the teachers that clown you because you're too damn lazy to read the book, but you come up in the class and you want to yell out an answer and you loud wrong and then everybody laugh at you? You don't get mad at the teacher. Get mad because your ass is lazy.
Oh, dumb.
You know what I'm saying? We don't be taking stuff off the top of the head to be sounding cute. We actually go do the research, listen to these things, listen to the guys, read the articles and stuff, and read the numbers like K-Styles and Coach do. So we can come here and tell y'all this is what we could probably expect. Now, do we always get it right? No. But 90% of the time we get it right because we do the homework. I understand my opinions don't matter. But if I'm telling you, if I'm telling you there's a source, go look at it for yourself. This is what this man said. This is what you can learn. It ain't me saying it. I'm just telling you what the man said. See, I ain't got to sit up here and cry about what I think, because I know that the Falcons, based on what I think, the Falcons going to do what they going to do. The Falcons ain't paying me. Not yet, anyway. But I'm smart enough to know if I do my research, I can give people accurate information. I'm not trying to spell numbers, you know what I'm saying, and count letters.
Hold on. D, let me know if you're serious about this before I say something on there. I want to say he's serious about this. He says, I wonder who put our defensive players off several yards off the ball. And if we see it this season, I believe we will know who defense really is. It's all about. You know the answer to this, bro.
Yeah, you do. But no. But you know what? I get where D. Sloan coming from.
No. We're gonna wait to see if he's serious about this. That's before you even talk. We're gonna wait to see if he's serious about it.
I know where you're going. I know exactly where you're going. What up, Bucho?
Because I don't think we ask questions before we really think about it. So I want to know if he actually serious about that question, because this is not the first time we've seen this.
Yeah.
We seen this for how many years before Raheem became the head coach? This exact same defense. This is the same defense.
Mm-hmm. Question you have to ask is: it's not if the defense is going to work. Has the people that are running it, have they grown in it? Because if you ever play rec sports, the sport don't change. You got to change. You got to get better. The sport is what it is. I mean, am I lying, Coach?
You're right.
Basketball don't have to improve. The players got to improve. Football don't have to get better. Players got to get better. Coaches got to get better. Organizations got to be able to steward their business better. Sport don't have to do nothing. It is what it is.
Because the thing is, if you like I said, at the end of the day, this is not a new defense. This is not a new defense we're running. It's the same thing that he ran. It's the same, almost the exact same plan that he had in 16. This is the exact same plan. We get a bunch of athletes, a bunch of freak athletes, Vic Beasley's, the Deion Jones, the Keanu O'Neal's. It's the same, bro. This is the same thing. This is why I tell y'all, think before you type. This is not a new vision.
Ain't no shit. That's a different team.
We brought in Dwight Freeney for a year. Guess what we did this year? Bring in Leonard Floyd for a year. This is not a new. This is not a new plan. It's not new, bro.
You know what? You know what? Mike, let me do it. Cam, can you do something for us, please?
What's up?
Where could you look up where the Falcons were? And we just gonna talk about the defense part. Where the Falcons rank? Just bring up the numbers where the Falcons rank.
Oh, we gotta know that. We gotta look that up. We know that already.
No, but it's for a reason. It's for a reason because it's going to
What
basically.
you talking about? Because you talking about 16?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was at the bottom of the
16. Oh yeah, so 16. Like I said, I'm on my phone, so I can't really look it up. But what I will say is based on the many times that I've had to look this up, defensively wise, against the run in 16, we was middle of the pack, borderline outside the top 10.
Okay. So
But
24.
against the but against the pass, we was dead last in the league.
Okay. So 24. Where were we? Because I wanna make, because I'm about to connect the dots to what Mike talking about. 24. Where were we at the end of the season?
We were middle of the pack against the run.
I think we're like 14.
We was bottom 10 in the league against the pass.
Okay. Now, Mike, going back to what you just said, and then I'm gonna jump to coach. Going back to what you just said about this not being a new defense. Out of everything, in your opinion, what do you think changed right now? And I'm being facetious about this. What do you think changed? If anything changed, what do you think changed?
Is it what has changed?
Yeah, if anything changed this off season, what do you think changed?
As far as the defense is concerned.
Yes.
As far as the defense concerned.
Yeah, from the coaches to the players, all of that. What do you think changed, if anything?
Personnel.
It go back to what Mike just said. You put more athletes on the field from 2024 going into 2025.
And there's something else, Mike. And Mike, you mentioned it, and a lot of people slept on it. Coach know what I'm about to go with this, and Coach said it. You're putting different people in the driver's seat. You want a different result? You do something different. From these clips, what we see on the screen and on Twitter and on YouTube, I see a coach that wants to win, Jeff Oakley. I'm gonna call him a coach because that's what he is. I know he's DC. I see Raheem want a photo shoot. And you can get mad all you want. You can send hate mail. You can tell me in my comments on YouTube I'm wrong. Raheem want a photo shoot. Jeff Obrick wants a championship. And it will be apparent in preseason. We ain't got to wait for game one. It's going to be apparent in preseason. Because guess what? Preseason is practice for our first division rival.
One, what are the three what are the 3 defensive backs that we brought in this past draft? What do they got in common?
Pick that ball.
Oh man,
Ding, 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 ding. All right. Next question, Coach.
See ball, get ball.
Get ball. Exactly.
2016. What was one of our number one things that Coach Quinn used to preach?
We take the ball away. We had a lot
Take
of
the
turnovers that
ball.
year.
This is not
See
a new
ball,
thing. This ain't
see
new.
ball, get ball.
right.
Like I said, when I saw what was happening when they brought Raheem back, and I saw what they did last year. Dan Quinn first year in 2015, it was almost identical to what we had last year. We was losing games. Like, how the hell are we losing games like this? 16, you got rid of who that was we got with the big defensive tackle guy we had down there that we got rid of that who was here forever. And people was mad. Was the Solia at that time? Well, they got rid of somebody just like they did Grady. Just like they did Grady.
Was it Poe? Oh no, it wasn't Poe.
Poe came in here later.
Poe came in 18.
18.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's Solia. That's Solia.
Yeah, but like you said, they brought in a veteran edge rusher, which was Dwight Freeney.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't draft, but think about this. They brought in Courtney Shaw, those guys. They drafted those guys 2 years prior. The last 2 years, they've been drafting those guys like that. They drafted Rook. They drafted Harrison. Those guys are here already. The team is already built to do exactly what they did in 16. We got a quarterback that knows how to deliver the ball.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons going to outscore everybody and make everybody catch up. So then you can get those guys going to get those edge rushers we got that's going to get them.
Mm-hmm.
You make a mistake. I hope our DPs can take advantage of those mistakes and throwing the ball wrong. And that's what happened in 16.
We're trying to recreate 16, y'all. This is not a new plan.
But I think we got a better safety now. How's that? Is that better?
Yes, that's obvious. That's definitely obvious.
Yeah.
Because Ricardo was.
Ricardo Allen was running on AOL dial-up time.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's why we saying it's like really think about the things you're asking, because you already know the answer to it. Just all you gotta do is just pay attention to the people that they brought in. We brought these people in.
What's going on, young knight? Let me ask y'all a question. What is man's one wish? What is every man on this planet? What is his one wish? If he had any wish he could get granted, what is his one wish? It's so simple, but it's difficult at the same time. If y'all don't know, just tell me y'all don't know. I'm gonna tell you right now. What is one man's wish? What is every man's wish on this planet? It's one wish everybody got. Doesn't matter who it is.
Money, 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 money.
Every person on this planet has a wish that they could go back and redo something that they fucked up. Everybody.
Nice.
What did our people, our OGs and big mamas and all, you tell them, baby, you can't go back in time. Raheem Morris is trying to undo 16.
He already said they're coming in. That's what he's trying to do. We got some unfinished business. He said that.
Yeah, he's trying to undo 16. Why? Because he knows what it tastes like to be a part of a championship team. He knows what it tastes like. But all those championships he was a part of. Listen to me closely. Those championships he was a part of, meaning he helped out. He wants to have a championship that he can brag and say he earned by himself.
Right.
So he trying to undo 16. The person I believe that's really about that vision is Jeff Over. Because I have not heard one coach come in here and tell me to my face, I want you to see me arguing with this nigga right here when he decide he want to get stupid. I keep telling y'all, you got coworkers at your job that you've been working with. Y'all came in together. There's no way in the world your coworker gonna tell you and be able to get away with telling you to do some bullshit because y'all on equal footing. You may have a different position, but y'all on equal footing. He could tell Jimmy Lake that because Jimmy Lake was an understudy. And that's why I said, where is he now? He ain't on the team because he was an understudy. That man was not meant to be here long. And that's why I used to tell Mike and them during you watch the games. When Jimmy Lake would get aggressive, he let him play. Okay, all right, sit your ass down. It looked good. I'm going to take credit for this. You ain't going to do that shit with Jeff Obert. Jeff Obert, man, so you don't sit your ass down. This was me. You was sitting over there. You was practicing on chewing gum. I'm out here getting dirty with these players. You want to look cute. Take your cute ass and sit on the sideline with your clipboard. Let me actually do this team the way it's supposed to be done.
But that adds to the question, though. Is Jeff Obert setting himself up to be the next head coach just in case if the shit doesn't go as planned this year?
Hell yes.
Go ahead, coach. Speak on
it. Of course he is. Shit, why not? Why not? This is most coaches' dream. If you have a team like this, if Raheem gets in the way any little bit this year, any little bit, it causes him to lose a game that they should not be losing. He's on thin ice. And Jeff Albright, because he got a little experience as a head coach with the Jets, which was a dumpster fire there. And don't be surprised you see the D lineman become your DC, the lead D line coach. So everything's already set up. Jeff Albright has brought the people, whatever his name is, has brought the people in that he wants to be on his staff already. Yep. On the defensive side.
I didn't think about it like that, Coach. I just thought about it as a hypothetical question, but I didn't think about it like that.
Hey, Kev, remember what I said?
Everybody was hired. He brought him in, except the guy, what the linebacker guy named who played with the Tampa Bay a long time ago. I can't think of this name.
Barrett Rude.
Yeah, Barrett Rude. He was there. He'll be fired.
Wow. And you know something, Coach? I'm gonna piggyback on what you said. I remember when I said this, Kev. I said you want players on the team that want to win more than your coaches do. Because when you start seeing shit where Raheem is not engaged, he's just looking at the screen, chewing gum. I want my players so mad at my coach to be like, bro, what is you doing? We trying to win. Players will elevate their coaches based on the need to win and being competitive. And what we saw last season, and Mike said it, one of the few people that spoke out about how the season went was Jesse Bates. And we go back to watch the Broncos game and the last 3 games of the season with Mike Penix. I told people when I seen him in that Broncos game rally that offense, I said, that boy is possessed. You got a quarterback. Mike said it too. When they made a mistake, Mike Penix was on the sideline cussing and fussing. That kind of competitiveness will force a coach to up his game.
And while that was going on, Raheem Morris was looking at the Jumbotron.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you already know Jeff Ulbrich already out there with them boys. So when he starts to see that they're going to look at Jeff Ulbrich and be like, Coach, what do we do? Coach, what you want to do? That's just on the defensive side of the ball. We ain't even got to the offense yet. That shifts the respect in the locker room. Yeah, you the head coach, and yeah, you smiling, and yeah, you bragging once you didn't got the win. But them players is looking at Jeff Ulbrich like, what do we do now when shit get ugly? They ain't gonna go. They not gonna go to Raheem. They're gonna look at Raheem with the side like this nigga over here having a whole parade in his head while we playing the game.
But that's just like life, though. That's just like life. Like you said, you could turn, like I said, when things are going well, like I said, everybody's happy. But when things ain't going well, The ones that are the ones that you turn to when the chips are down are going to be the ones that's going to be your ride or dies.
Yep. Hey,
Jeff
Christian, how you
Ulbrich,
doing?
Jeff
Hey,
Ulbrich right now.
Christian.
Hey, Christy.
Y'all
Jeff
better not be
Ulbrich
playing
right
with
now
Christian. Man.
is
Don't do that to Christy, y'all. She off limits.
I mean, she off limits to who, nigga?
Nah, I'm just saying. I ain't say to me. I'm just saying she off limits. Don't y'all be fucking with
Okay.
Nah, but like you said, I know athletes and I know a lot of business people. The mindset is they're not worried about the people that's there with them when the success is there. They go, they're they're only worried about the people that's going to be there when the shit hits the fan or if
Right.
it hits the fan.
Right. See,
you know.
and not to cut you off, Mike, but Kev, and that's the difference between what our great mentor says, Terrence Mathis. That's the difference between a regular team and a team that got championship pedigree mindset. What you got, Mike?
Bro, every time I listen to everybody talk about Raheem, everybody keep talking about he got real leadership qualities. When he talk to you, you feel good. But he makes you feel better about yourself. I don't give a damn.
Right.
Look. I'm gonna be honest with you. The way they talk about Raheem Morris and that, like, they make it sound like Raheem Morris is a streetwalker.
Hey, hold on. You know what it sound like?
What?
Mega.
Hey,
That's what
but
I'm
This
talking
nigga.
about.
hey,
Well,
but you
he
know,
got real leadership qualities, and when you talk to him, he's so knowledgeable of the game, and he makes you feel he motivates you and gets you hype.
The same
but you
thing.
know what? But no, but you know what? You know who else does that?
Donald Trump.
A used car salesman. He makes you feel
Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Exactly.
he makes
Exactly.
you feel look. He makes you feel good about getting that Honda with 3 wheels on it.
Mm.
Cause he gonna make you feel
Look,
like he gonna make you feel like that's the best 3 wheel car you ever gonna drive.
But you know what though?
like I said, if you if you really pay attention to it, they treat Raheem Morris like he's the neighborhood favorite. He's the neighborhood's favorite hooker.
Hey,
That's what he said. That's exactly what it is.
see,
She'll
like I
bend
He's
over
said,
the
if you get
neighborhood's favorite hooker.
see
she'll bend
He
over
get
if you
he
get too close.
my thing about
Go ahead.
yeah
Raheem
like
is my thing about Raheem is I think he can be a good coach, but I think the way what he showed us last year when he came in here,
Mm.
his mouth, like I said earlier, his mouth got him in
Yep.
trouble. Instead of
Yep.
him putting that mouth on his players and telling them they need to do better, talk about put some blame on the players instead of saying your players were looking bad too. Although you looking bad too, but some of your players didn't look good.
Hey, coach,
You know, so
y'all remember Hot Shot?
Lord coach, you just man, you just what you said? What you said? You said Raheem Moore's deep throat game was sorry as
oh
hell.
my
That's
lord,
what you said.
whoa.
Nah, hey, Kev, Kev, coaching took a line from Hot Shot. Boy, your mouth right and checks your body can't cash.
Yeah, that's what he's done.
Exactly.
That's what he did. So, like I said, he talks a great game. He had everybody motivated when he came. He had me a little motivated, but show and tell.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He never fooled me. He never fooled me from day one. I knew exactly what it was. Because look, let me get y'all. Let me get you something. I'm very good at exactly what he doing. I'm very good at it. I know how to agitate people, but I know how to motivate the fuck out you. I'm very good at it. If I want to get a certain reaction, I'm going to get it. And ain't a damn thing you can do about it. I'm very good at that. I'm very good at psychological games. I know when somebody's selling me a lemon. I know when the product is good. I know when the product is bad. The thing is, how do you know you don't got a fucking lemon?
You got
How do
dry.
you know? You can't do it. You can't. You're not gonna learn. You're not gonna know if you got a lemon if you don't do what.
They're driving. You got to take
You
it around the
gotta
corner.
Oh
drive it.
Lord. Oh
He can
Lord,
sit up there and
ATLE.
tell you all day. He can tell you all day about what the fuck he got until you turn that son of a bitch on and drive it.
ATL, you know,
ATLE, you know what I'm saying? Raheem is worse than a hooker with a BB. Man, don't tell me you call you so you calling Raheem Morris Mariah Mills? That's his new name.
So yeah, just look, ATL Leo basically saying Raheem got false advertisement. Yeah, you was all hyping everything until you took them clothes off. You found out you
Said took
had too
them
much scars and say like you were missing some body parts.
took them clothes off your ass looking like a can of busted biscuits and shit.
Look, I'm gonna get you sucker. You got him in the room, start taking off the butt cheeks, pulling off the legs, and then in the wig and lashes. You had to pull off one breast, put it on the counter. False
Busted
advertising.
biscuits.
that's skin biscuits. Oh man.
But like you said, that's the thing. You can be a player's coach, you can make people happy. But the thing about it is can you motivate them to be the best player that they can be?
Exactly. That's the main thing right
Right,
there. You said exactly the right word right there. Can you do it? Plus, you can do it, but can you do it consistently? You know,
That's
right,
it.
There
It's
you go.
about consistency.
now. I know somebody. I want to get this out. I know somebody asked me about, um, Zach Robinson in the offense. Basically, what you're going to see now is you want to see your offense take that next step and see how the chemistry is with your quarterback. Because what we did was we kind of, how can I put it like this? We kind of basically got the cereal, we got the knockoff cereal and ate it for about 6 weeks. And then we got mad because we went back to the store and wanted the real cereal. So now with Mike Penix being the head QB and everything's going to flow through him, you should see the guys on the offense have an ability to take a leap forward.
oh yeah,
I
that's
seen something on Twitter and it didn't bother me, but it shocked me because I'm like, the audacity of it. Everybody still got the mind. Well, most people still got the mindset that, oh, well, Kyle Pitts better get better, this, that, and the other. If that's your opinion, and you're going to stand 10 toes down on it, I'm going to caution you to one thing. And this goes back because I know Kev did it. You need to do your homework. See, this is the problem when you don't take time to actually research what you're talking about, because Mike Penix don't have to elevate Kyle Pitts the way y'all think he does. Kyle Pitts responds differently to different quarterbacks, as any weapon should. See, he didn't do less than what a tight end's supposed to do. He was used differently because the quarterback stopped facilitating. I've said this many times till I'm purple in the face. He was a clear out guy so that everybody else can eat, because the quarterback, as the season progressed with injuries and confidence, decided to narrow his field of vision and only focus on certain players that he got comfortable with. We don't have that problem now. So Kyle Pitts' numbers is not necessarily going to skyrocket, but his numbers will be a little bit above where they are right now. Because once again, you have a rotation of players, good players, mind you, weapons that are going to play off of each other. And if y'all watch Coach's show, he went through the offense, he went through the weapons. Mike put out a short about how Bijan Robinson's touches will drop. It has to drop. Because if you want a balanced offense, they're gonna have to drop it. Everybody's gonna have to be on kind of like close to each other in terms of numbers. Now it's gonna be some higher or some lower. And Mike said, in terms of money. But I'm talking about in terms of play and logistics, they're gonna have to be close to each other. Because that's what you want out of a balanced offense. You want everybody to be a threat. You don't want a one-dimensional offense. You don't want one player where everybody's like, we got to get him, and then the rest of all, we don't care about that. That's how you get beat. You want everybody to be a threat because teams need to respect who we got. So this is why I have a hard time when people say, oh, Kyle need to get better. No, Kyle doesn't need to get better. Kyle just needs to get the ball more. He'll get it.
Just play your game, shit.
Yeah. It's mind-boggling to me that y'all still have this mindset that like Kyle had a terrible season. He didn't.
He had almost 700 yards, man.
Thank you. But because it's not, but because it's not he's not the focal point of a multifaceted offense. He got to get better. How?
How many people
So I keep telling y'all been playing Madden on special.
See but that just goes to the question. If he has to get better, what does he have to get better at? Because if you say route running, yeah, that's fine. But guess what? The quarterback decides if he gets the ball or not, regardless if he's running right.
But he was
Right or not.
Right. Right.
And number two,
what? Y'all just making me think of something. Hold up.
and number two, you gotta think about it like this. If what you're saying that Kyle Pitts need to get better means he needs to have more yards and touchdowns, guess what happens? That's football's taken away from other guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And now I'm gonna do a memory lane, and Coach, I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. How many times was the Falcons successful with a one-dimensional offense?
As far as going far in the playoff or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Never.
There you go. And here's why. And it goes.
Let me,
go ahead, Coach.
If you look at every year the Falcons went to playoff with Matt Ryan, right? They had a run game, and they had a pass game. It was a balanced offense.
Ding, 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 ding.
When it wasn't balanced, when we didn't think about it, when Kyle Pitts got that 1,000 yards, was that a balanced offense? We couldn't run the freaking ball.
Nope.
And he's the only wide receiver we had. So
we didn't get a run game until the season after we drafted Kyle Pitts.
Cordero Patterson was the run game, and he was only brought here to be a special teams guy.
Right.
And a wide receiver too.
Right.
We didn't like Ray McLeod, huh?
Whoa. Yeah. We didn't have a run game until after we got Caleb Huntley and Tyler Algier.
That was that first year. That was the first year, right?
Mm-hmm.
They came in the same year.
Yeah. Because I think was it a couple years after that? That's when we got Bijan. But right there was still Tyler Algier and Caleb Huntley that had that running game. This is the reason why I'm telling you. Mike said it all the time. Belichick was instrumental in being that coach that could take away that one weapon and shut your offense down. Why would you want to have one man that's got all the focus, that gets all the touches, and that's got to do all the work? Number one, you wearing down your weapon. Number two, you got to pay him money when these seasons come back. That money can be allocated to other players to make your offense that much more deadly. I'm not scared of an offense that got one player that stands out. Because if I take him away, guess what? Your offense falls flat. I want your defensive coordinators to have family reunion meetings with his team to figure out how you gonna stop my offense.
And
Well,
and,
because
and, and and if you want to make the comparison, that everybody's comparing it to Brock Bowers. Guess
yeah,
what?
Different worlds.
The Raiders just drafted the best running back in the draft this past season.
And they got the best
So
tight
they're
end too. What?
yeah.
yeah. But the thing about it is with Ashton Jeter, you already know they're gonna make him the focal point of offense.
Mm-hmm.
So is Brock Bowers gonna be able to put up those same numbers?
He not. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. He not because here's what you're gonna do. Brock Bowers, they're going to do Brock Bowers like we did Kyle Pitts in short spurts, which is Brock Bowers is going to be that guy that's going to lead off defenders so that run game can do what it got to do.
But not necessarily. Think about Georgia's offense. They had a run game,
Brock will still eat though.
and Brock was still doing his thing.
Yeah, Brock will still
Yeah.
eat. I mean,
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to take
No,
any
no,
touches
no,
away
no,
from him.
no, no. But also you have to think about even with that offense, Brock Bowers wasn't getting 1,500 yards.
yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying they're going to take nothing from him. What I'm saying is he's going to be a guy that when teams start to really clamp down on him, he's going to be able to make it so that, hey, you got that one guy that can take the heat off people, so they do got a run game.
And honestly, with a guy like if you got if Gentry do what I think he's going to do, a lot of teams going to walk that goddamn safety down in the box. And when you walk that safety down in the box, now you not only you got two receivers you one on one with, but you one on one with a guy with a tight end with receiver skills. So Brock, Brock will probably eat good. He'll probably eat better. His numbers may not be. His numbers may go down because you can tell what the Raiders trying to do is listen. I'm gonna tell you something, boy. Saquon Barkley might have been the guy to get the running backs back. Start getting their money back. So they gonna smash mouth football. They
Mm-hmm.
going now.
Hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Brock can block.
it's
That's the thing. He can
yeah.
block.
And Brock is an above level blocker. He's an extension of the O
Hmm.
line when he's not getting the
Right,
ball. So
Yeah, guy is
um,
Pete
right.
Carroll. You know what Pete Carroll's gonna do? He's gonna bang you up anyway.
Yeah, but see, Pete Carroll. The thing that's gonna make Brock dangerous is Pete Carroll gonna know how to use it. That's
Hmm.
that's the one thing that I learned about Pete Carroll, that I learned about Sean Payton, I learned about with Bill Belichick, even Bill Parcells back in the day. When they know they got somebody on the team that can be a game wrecker, oh, they know how to use them in ways you be like, you know what, you dirty mother sucker, you. Oh, PK,
Oh,
he gonna get stuff out of
But
Brock Bowers. I ain't worried about that.
I
but
just
but
don't need. I just hopefully for their sake, if they get it that far, for Pete not to have another brain fart like he did in a Super Bowl. He had a major brain fart on that one. I'm like, bro, what in the entire fuck are you doing?
Sound like Dan
But,
Quinn. Run the goddamn ball.
oh,
Well, no,
but
Spain.
now
okay,
what? See,
all right.
what make
Hold
it
on,
what
hold on,
make
hold
it
on, hold on.
bad with Dan Quinn?
Wait. Hold on. I gotta say this. I
Okay.
gotta say this. I have to say this because there's something real interesting with Kyle Pitts.
What's that?
So I'm looking at his targets. All right, and this is before the Saints game. And I know we already kind of went on that, but I'm about to give y'all his numbers, his targets. All right. So I'm gonna just start with the Carolina game. The Carolina game, he had 5 targets. In the next game, he had um this is here we go. All right, he had 9 targets. Okay, 9 targets on that. This is the next game. That game was the Seattle game, by the way, where he had the 9 targets.
okay.
All right, and then when the next game he playing against the Bucks. the Bucks game, he had 5 targets.
Hmm.
You kind of see what's going.
Yeah.
You see what's going with that? They won that game against the Bucks, and then the Cowboys game, he had uh he had 1 target against that Cowboys game. The next game, the Saints, and stay with me, we're on there for y'all. The next game that came after that, and that was the Saints game where he had 6 targets. Do you know that game with the Saints game? What happened in that Saints game that we know?
Kirk Cousins got hurt.
Yep.
And Kirk Cousins got hurt. So Kirk Cousins got hurt. The next game, he had was 3 targets and 1 reception, and that was against the Denver Broncos. And then we got the Chargers. And the next game against the Chargers, okay, he had no targets. Zero targets. They didn't even throw him the ball. All right. That's week 13. That's week 13 with Kirk Cousins, by the way. Okay. And then you look at that game, the next game, you got 6 targets, only 1 reception out of those 6 targets against the Minnesota Vikings.
And Kirk Cousins overthrew about 4 of them.
Yes, and
Mm-hmm.
he overthrew by 4 of them. All right, and then we get to the next game. The next game, Kyle Pitts, 4 catches and 4 receptions. Anybody know that game?
Raiders. I mean, yeah, the Raiders.
So exactly the Raiders game. Okay, that's when Kirk Cousins was benched. But they made it. But you see what happened with that? They started getting him the ball more,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got the next one.
He was benched after that one.
And he was benched, and that's when
Saquon went on.
yeah, and that one, like I said, that was already kind of over, but like with that game with the Giants, we pretty much kind of so I kind of throw that game out because we won that game 34-7. That game was pretty much over. There was no need to really get him involved in the offense like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you saw the next game, even with Michael Penix in the game, another 5 targets, 4 catches. So you see, this is why we say you can't be looking so much at him in regards to this route running, all this route running bullshit, especially when it comes down to a big target like that, it's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't need your tight end to be an excellent route runner. You need him to be able to utilize his size. That's it. Be
Yep.
big. Because your quarterback his job is to be accurate. His job is to be accurate and put it in a place where smaller DBs can't get it. So what we're saying, when the Falcons were rolling, they were getting ball to Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
They were getting ball to Kyle Pitts. Another thing in that, when Kyle Pitts wasn't getting the ball, can you guess who was getting those targets?
Tariq.
Ray Magoo.
Ray McCloud.
Ray Magoo.
Yep.
You see the problem?
That's Rufus for.
This is why we talking about. This is exactly what we're talking about. When you're not getting the ball in the hand, and everybody say Ray was wide open. Of course he's wide open. They not running no plays. They not running the defense to stop him. They're designing the defense to stop the ball from getting in. And the quarterback, what happens with the quarterback, he has to press the issue to press the defense. If he presses the defense by getting the ball into Kyle Pitts' hands, it makes the team that much more difficult to stop. Because
Yeah.
even if you design a play to get the ball or to not get the prevent Kyle Pitts from getting the ball in their hand, you're still making them second guess. They are fine. They fine to letting Ray McLeod get 7 catches a game.
Yeah,
Yes.
but because what do we always say? When your quarterback is on the field, he watches the safeties first to see where the safeties are and what they'll bite on. If I got Kyle Pitts, Ray McLeod, let's just say Darnell Mooney on the field, right? You got 1, 2, 3. So I'm supposed to scan from left to right, starting with Kyle Pitts because he's the biggest target on the field, and I'll work my way down, work away closer back towards the line of scrimmage. If they're focused on Kyle, I still got 2 options open. So if they try to take Kyle away from me, that's when I hit Ray. That's when I hit Darnell Mooney. I don't go from Darnell Mooney to Kyle Pitts. He's not the last one I look at. I want the guy that's going to cause the defense to react first. That's the first guy I look at because he's the one that's going to draw the most attention. The other 2 will be open. So if they happen to bracket him, I can go. If I look off the safety, I can easily say, all right, well, they're going to try to bracket Kyle. Boop, I'm going to look off. I can hit Ray. It's less time for their defense to react because you focused on Kyle. This is why we kept saying it. That's why I kept saying all season he's the clear out guy. He was the reason why Drake London got a lot of his catches because he cleared out a couple of defenders.
Coach, let me ask Coach a question. You're a defensive coordinator, right? Put yourself in the mind of the defensive coordinator. What is your job when you put together a game plan? What the first thing you looking to do?
Take away their what's that good in their offense, for instance.
What's good in their offense, and typically you're trying to take away a certain aspect, whether it's the offensive line or someone on that offensive line,
right?
Whether it's a running back, wide receiver, tight end. You're trying to take away that best element.
That's true.
So if they are passing the ball to their fullback out of the backfield, are you going to adjust your plan? Or are you just going to let them do that all game for the most part?
Adjust. You're supposed to adjust. You know, if they throw into the fullback, that's like, what the hell are you doing? Where's my linebacker at?
Mm-hmm.
So that's linebacker. That's linebacker responsibility. You see that fullback going out for a pass, that's that linebacker responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So
because a lot of people got to realize you got almost 3,000 receiving yards.
Yes.
From 3 receivers this year.
Yep.
Wide receivers. Yeah. Let me say that again.
Almost 3,000. You're right.
You got almost 3,000 receiving yards from your wide receiver 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay attention to how a lot of teams' passing games are, that's literally right up there in the tops. The Atlanta Falcons passing offense was a top 5 passing offense in this league despite Kirk Cousins' fuck ups.
Yep.
So when we go back and talk about the balance was there.
Yeah.
We already had that. We're not talking about the 500 yards that Bijan Robinson got out the backfield.
Can I mention something also?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you got?
All right. Do y'all know what Ray McLeod's career total is in the 6 or 7 years?
Oh boy.
Before you talk about before this season?
Yes.
I'm talking about all of it all together. Just talking.
Shit, 98% of his goddamn career yard just came off this season alone.
He got a total of 1,454 yards career.
Wow.
And 760 of those came this year.
Yeah, so looking at he had 800 yards coming to this game. He almost doubled what he had this year. His receptions. You know the most he ever had a reception in one season?
What's that?
39. He had 62 this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
All right. And Coach, why was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna go back to it because the times that you seen Ray get the ball, Kyle Pitts was somewhere on the field taking about 2 or 3 guys with him.
Or Kurt didn't throw the ball; he was forced into the man too.
But
Yeah.
here's the question that people got to ask: who's the biggest threat on the field, Kyle Pitts or Ray McCloud?
You give it to your scrubs if nobody else is open.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Yeah.
like you said, that's the question right there. Who, like you said, if you looked at the receiving numbers, a lot of people would say that Ray McCloud outclassed Kyle Pitts.
No,
But when you look on the field, who was the biggest threat? Kyle Pitts or Ray McCloud?
Kyle Pitts, because Ray ate because Kyle Pitts was the biggest threat.
Then Kyle improved his touchdown number by a lot.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yep.
What,
I was gonna do that.
He got 4 in one season.
Yep.
And people fail to realize also something about Kyle Pitts this year. If Kyle Pitts want to make this his game, make this football his life, Kyle Pitts going to show the hell out this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have to. If he wants to make money, he's going to have to show out. And then, how many players you know on that who played on that 5th year contract, that 5th year deal, whatever you want to call it, that don't show out? Tell me one.
Look. So I'll do you one better. Go back and listen to that Cam Newton podcast when Kyle was on there. It spoke volumes about how he felt and what he saw this season.
That mother won't throw me the ball. I was wide fuck open.
When I tell you, y'all need to do your homework. Go back and look that podcast up when he was talking with Cam Newton. That lets you know from his perspective inside what went on and how he felt about stuff. Because again, we can't say it enough. And you can see it on filming. Me and Kev talked about this so much. If not for Kyle Pitts playing the role, a lot of these guys don't have these numbers on the season. Because you put them same defenders on Ray and Mooney, they're not catching the ball. They're not. Maybe 2 out of 10 times they'll catch it.
74 targets, 47 catches.
As much as Ray was catching ground balls, he wouldn't have caught that with no defenders on him.
Shit, as much ground ball that he caught, there was a lot of damn balls he dropped on the goddamn ground.
He would have had 100% drop rate.
That motherfucker fumbled away 2 games last year alone.
So imagine Kyle Pitts not being on the field, then they can actually put them defenders on him. Then what? We're not having this conversation. Most of them we don't win.
A question about that same thing. Ray had 62 receptions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mooney had your number 2 receiver.
I think he was like 65 or something like that.
64. Does that seem normal?
No, absolutely not.
You understand what I'm saying? Why would your number 2 guy have almost the same thing as your guy who probably never played if the other guy never got hurt?
Right.
Because like I said, Darnell Mooney was the big play guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was the big play guy because he led the team almost. I think it was like 15.4 yards.
15.5. Okay. That's a lot
per reception.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the big play guy. And that's your number 2.
And if you look at it by the way things went, it's like Zach and them knew, they're gonna target Kyle Pitts. We just got to make this man. We just gonna bait y'all in the chasing him, and we gonna let these guys eat. Y'all been falling for it all year. We gonna keep doing it.
Wow, this is crazy. So this man has already had a career. Wow. So I'm looking at Ray McCloud's his history.
Mm-hmm. I look the same thing.
Guess how many fumbles? Guess how many fumbles this dude done had in career?
I ain't
How
go that.
many?
If I make a guess, I say about 6 or 7.
Bruh, he done had that in 2 years.
I didn't look at that.
That dude got a career total of 18 fumbles.
Damn.
Wait, whoa.
What?
Wait, whoa.
I didn't
Wait a
stutter.
goddamn.
I ain't stutter. I ain't stutter.
Hold on. I gotta clear my ear out right quick. Uh,
No, the rest.
uh,
Free kick return. Oh yeah, he
um,
got a lot. Oh my god, I didn't know he had that many.
Yeah, he
wait a
done
minute,
had
wait a minute, wait, hold on. So you said, well, hold on. You did say 8, right?
Oh, I'm
no.
glad.
I said a career total. He done had the last before he became Atlanta Falcon. His career high was already what he did this year and fun.
Wow. What? That's
Listen,
nasty
The
word.
So
dude
he
had
really is Rufus. So he really is Rufus
yeah,
boy.
Rufus
well, he
boy.
ain't
I
returned the
told you
punt
he
for it.
Rufus boy. I
Hey
told you
Mike.
he was Rufus boy.
Hey Mike.
Yes,
That
sir.
that's why they ain't have returned the punts.
Yes, that's
Right.
exactly why.
Mm-hmm.
He's a damn goof. This is why we talking about you can't put the ball in the hands of guys that they look. There was a reason why the defense wanted him to have the ball.
God,
He's got 18 career fumbles. Okay, 18 career.
nigga, that's what quarterbacks are supposed to do on sack fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
He been second fumble.
They were
He's
looking at,
been
like I
doing that
said,
all right.
the deep when the defensive coordinator seen him out there, up there go Rufus boy, go get him.
Guess how many Kyle Pitts got in
How
his
many?
career? 0.
Ooh. Wait, no. Excuse me, Mike. Wait. Come on, because I think they like hearing how talk sound. Say that again, please.
Kyle Pitts got a career total of 0 fumbles.
So he got less fumbles than Drake London.
Mhm.
So you mean to tell me the same man that people been talking about needs to improve himself doesn't have any fumbles, but yet you
However,
let Ray pass?
in Drake's defense, he ain't had not one last year.
He didn't have one last year. He
He
had
didn't
all
have one
his
last year.
rookie year.
He didn't
His
have one
rookie
year.
year,
He had his
yeah,
rookie year. That's when he had this problem. He
yeah,
haven't had a fumble since his rookie year.
his
Mm,
rookie.
but he needs to get better.
Goddamn sleeves.
But
Yeah,
wait.
that's what it was. Them damn
Yeah,
Steve. Coach said that shit too.
yeah.
I
When he
remember
took
you
them
saying that.
sleeves off, it became his game changed.
Yep, got those sleeves on.
You got to feel the ball, man.
Yeah. But that is mind boggling that he needs to get better, yet and still his numbers say otherwise.
Leave Drake alone. Leave Kyle alone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I keep telling y'all can't argue with black and white. Y'all can't argue what's on the stat sheets. You can't argue what's on the internet if the stats are telling you. I ain't talking about what these analysts be talking about. We not talking about that. You can't argue with black and white.
Look, Mucho, get your finger out your own asshole and stop your fucking bullshit. Okay, that's not a bobble. Ain't a fucking. It's not a fucking fumble. I don't know what
And
planet
Drake,
y'all be
and Drake,
on.
Drake London done did that too now.
We
So
don't
you got to
did
count.
every receiver in the universe done did that, including Jerry Rice.
If it
You
don't hit the
nitpicking that.
Catch is
ground,
not a fumble.
if it don't hit the ground, it ain't a fumble.
But a fumble means you're making a move, not on the catch.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be making a move and somebody hit you, you fumble. That's what
That's
fumbles come from.
nitpicking.
Yeah, yeah,
So basically, what you said is Rufus boy is just reckless.
yeah.
He's reckless. That's why I'm looking at them like why you keep running him out there knowing look the boy dropped a lot of passes on top of it.
He did some good.
We're not saying look everybody all I'm saying when we come down to Kyle Pitts is the things that we complain about are fucking stupid. You're being because y'all have this idea of what he's supposed to be. Y'all just nitpick some of the goofiest shit.
They're looking at college highlights.
That's
Again,
all it is.
and again, when you talk about the highlights, look who he was playing and look at him being the only weapon. You see what I'm saying? He was doing the same thing he's
That's
doing
the
now. When,
context.
when we got here, when he got here, when Matt Ryan was the quarterback, they used him as he was one of their primary weapons. He didn't
But
have to
that,
share
but
it with 5 other people.
But Juan,
How?
that's the context nobody talks about.
Yes. I've
Kyle,
said it many times.
like you said, Kyle Pitts would be a 12, 1,300 yard receiver
If it was
if
just
there
him.
was no, if it was
Now,
just him.
can I just talk on Kyle Pitts in his college career?
Yeah.
Right.
Kyle Pitts in 2018. What was Kyle Pitts? He had 73 yards as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. His sophomore year, he had 649 yards
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
and 5 touchdowns. Ooh.
mm,
Okay.
His senior year, he had 770 yards, 43
mm,
receptions. Now, what's the difference what he's doing now besides the touchdown? He's doing the same exact thing he did when he was in college.
Yep.
yep.
Because he had those touchdown numbers on teams that were not good.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the teams that he got these touchdowns on. That's what I need about look at the teams that he scored these touchdowns on. Then you come back and talk to him.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And what's funny
He
is
got put out of the Georgia game. Think about it. He didn't score on that game. He was off.
right. See, that's what I'm saying, Coach. You and for people that love highlights, I don't understand why y'all don't connect the dots. He the highlights show you how they were utilizing him in the offense. The Falcons, Terry Fontenot and the scout said, "We see that. We bring it here. You can do the same thing." Only thing
Yeah.
is, when the next couple of years came after his freshman year, he got introduced to what? More players, better weapons. And then we got back sort of a run game. So you didn't have to lean on Kyle as much. So I don't know how you get bad because the team around you got better.
Now another thing about that, I'm sorry, y'all. Another thing on that college team, he had Kadarius Toney, who was an awesome college football player. I don't know how we got to the pros. And you had Trayvon Grimes there. So you had guys that can take the top off the thing and leave Kyle open. You couldn't you had to play him one-on-one. He was gonna be that by the one-on-one. But you was double teaming Kadarius Toney because he was that guy. And what's going had a great year that year. Kyle Trask was throwing the ball well. So
Coach, I'm glad you said that. Because let's just say that one of these I'm just hypothetically speaking. Let's just say one of these undrafted free agents that becomes Michael Penix's favorite, even though he picked the work on Kyle Pitts with him, decides to go off, and then the defense has to shift to that player. Kyle Pitts is going to be open again. You get what I'm saying? What Coach just said is a scenario that can happen right now on this team. Does that make Kyle any less of a player? No, that makes him more dangerous because now he's free to act the fool. That's what y'all got to understand. We got a 6-man rotation at all times. Any one of these players can go off, and Kyle Pitts will be free to roam around terrorizing your team and your sideline.
So I got another stat for y'all when we talk about Kyle Pitts, his drop rate. Okay, and I'm bringing the noise. I'm bringing the noise with Mucho because he said bobbles and all that type of stuff. Do you know what his drop rate in his career is?
What's that?
5.3%. Okay.
Well,
Anybody know Sam Laporta? Sam Laporta is like 9.3. 9.3. Kyle Pitts has a lower drop rate than Sam Laporta.
Here's something else people aren't paying attention to, and this is why I love.
I want people to think about that one. I want people to think about. I don't think people understand what that means.
That means he doesn't drop the ball that often.
Yeah, and that's what we keep talking about. This is why you got to bring these stats. What people are saying, because you don't realize what you're saying is stupid because you don't do your homework.
But yeah, it basically what the numbers say is people really are more upset that he's not leading the league in receiving yards.
Right.
That's really what the backlash is. It ain't got
They,
nothing to do with no route running. It ain't got nothing to do with no blocking.
No, none of
Because
that.
because the thing is, if you look at 2024, Kyle Pitts was also out in front blocking on a lot of those run plays Bijan Robinson was springing on too.
yes.
Mhm.
Now,
Yes.
it may not look like he was putting niggas on their ass. That's not what blocking is about.
He put
Like
his
I said,
foot
if you're an offensive lineman, yeah, you want to put niggas on their ass. But when you're talking about wide receivers and tight ends, your thing is just the seal.
seal. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. Because if you can redirect a man for 2 seconds, you give your running back maybe about 10 yards, depending on how good they are. Now, and I'm gonna flip it. If Kyle Pitts was up there on the charts with the top three tight ends in the league, y'all would have nothing to say. But again, I kept saying, Kyle Pitts sacrificed yardage and numbers in y'all minds so that everybody else can eat.
So basically,
That's the
what you
one
said.
thing. That's the one thing we're talking.
So basically, what you said is Kyle Pitts was basically Chris Bosh.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes. Somebody got to sacrifice their personal numbers for the good of the team. That's what being a team player. That's what.
I wonder who has ever done that. I wonder who's ever done that. Okay, I really want to know.
Right.
Okay, because
That's what. That's what gets you into the Hall of Fame.
I tell people all the time. I tell people this all the time, and Kev has actually spoke on this. Yeah, if y'all really want to know how me and Kev have really set our own personal goals aside for the greater good of the team. We could be so much further along if we just said fuck you and fuck everybody else.
Hmm.
Easily. But this is a team. This is about longevity. This is about being able to set forth a whole legacy. Do you know why the 1998 team is still one of the most talked about teams in this city? Even though they didn't even win the championship,
Hmm.
everybody hate on that motherfucker. The
Hmm.
offensive line, Chuck Smith, Shane Dronette, all those guys, Jesse Tuggle, all those guys still talked about to this day
Hmm.
because every last one of them, that was the most complete team that we've had. Like I've seen, because everybody ate. The offensive line, we had one of the most
Thanks.
physical, nasty offensive line, and then to go with a physical running back like Jam, and then you got one of the best fullbacks I done seen in Bobby Christian.
Look,
They
look, look,
still
look,
talk about that.
look. You got players like OJ Santiago. That bruh. Mm, yeah.
Terrence Mathis, Tony Martin, Tim Dwight.
Yes. And they played for each other. And this is not something that we talking about on the highlights. This is something that we heard in person. They played for each other. If y'all go back and look at the film, they were basically on the sideline praying when that last play happened. Go back and look at it. Because I was glued to the TV when it was going on in real time.
He told me one thing. Terrence told me one thing. He told all of this. He said he could have easily. They told him. Dan Reed told him one thing. He said, "If you want the ball, you're gonna have to block first.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
gonna have to block first."
Mhm.
That's what he said. In order for you to get the ball, us to get you the ball more, you got to block first. That's what he said. That's how he ended up doing. So
Mm-hmm.
these are the things that we talking about. We talking about guys like Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Why they take it blocking so seriously, and why they continue to do that is because it's going to open up everything else for every person, every running back. It's going to give them more opportunity to look because they're going to be focused on them as a receiver, and they're gonna make big plays off of those guys block. And offensive coordinators, what they love to see is they wide receivers blocking. They love to see their tight ends blocking. They love it because they know he putting forth the effort. If you put forth the effort, we're gonna call some more plays for you. So this is why wide receivers really go and block the way they do. Roddy is a perfect example of it.
And
When
right
Roddy,
here,
when you saw Roddy blocking, he know damn well when that fourth quarter comes, he gonna get targeted a lot because he
Mike,
put forth the effort.
not to cut you off, Mike, but I got to get this. I disagree with this for the simple fact that you got to understand something. You talking about how long will that last? Let's be real. Eventually, they'll start feeling some type of way. No, because here's what here's what y'all got to understand about football. You
How
only
old
have
are you? That's what I want to know first. How old are you?
because the thing is, what you fail to realize is you have divas. Now you got certain football players that have a diva mindset, but in order for your team, not individual player, but team to win, I need the guys to the left of me and the guys to the right of me to have the will to sacrifice in order for us collectively to win. I can't feel some type of way if my man's is blocking for me, allowing me to run. I can't feel some type of way if my turn comes and I got a block for him so that he can catch the ball. People feel that type of way when the allocation of said ball, and we talking about the offensive side, when you think you're the offense. When you got these receivers, these diva receivers and these diva tight ends that think they're the complete offense, then you have resentment. I don't see Drake London getting mad. I don't see Drake London getting mad at Kyle Pitts if he have to block for him so Kyle can get out there and get a reception. I don't see Kyle Pitts getting mad at Bijan Robinson because Bijan Robinson right now is running on behalf of him chipping somebody. I don't see that because the grand scheme of things is they all want to win. So if I'm not willing to sacrifice for my former player beside me or my buddy beside me, we ain't gonna win. So we both upset.
Warren. You ain't even gotta go. You ain't even gotta say all that. I'm a kill that right now. How many yards you think the Philadelphia Eagles passed for last year?
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell you because half the damn
Just
time
take a guess. Just take a guess. Everybody just take a guess.
I'm gonna say 36.
I'll say 30.
It's funny that y'all say that. It's not even that. It's barely 3,000.
Ooh.
So they ran the ball like hell. Saquon
Right.
had, Saquon had 2,000 yards. Shit.
You see?
Saquon was their offense.
But that's the point. This is what we're talking about. Wide receivers, they care about winning. As long as you winning, you good. You gonna get your AJ had last year. He barely had 1,000 yards. He was 74 yards over 1,000. He didn't care why because he was winning. That's what it's about. When I see wide receivers and divas, when I see wide receivers and tight ends crying about targets when we winning, you got to go.
AKA Stephon Diggs.
Right. A diva. That's why I said when you see divas, that means that in their mind they are the complete offense. So what you trying to say is let the Philly be losing, and then Saquon would have been bitching and complaining.
I don't think Saquon he gonna still get the ball.
Yeah. Right. That man threw for 2,900 yards last year and won the Super Bowl.
Sound like what's the boy from Baltimore that year?
Yep.
Yeah. You think you're gonna see Derrick Henry crying because they losing and he running like that? No, because he understand I'm a part of a system. This what y'all be see. Y'all be taking that again, that mad mindset. You would get mad because you're not getting enough targets, but you would rather sacrifice your team winning so that you can look good. Man, I make that make sense. Because I ain't never seen one player win the Super Bowl by themselves. I ain't never.
Mm-mm.
Never.
Right about that.
There ain't never been one player in the history of the NFL football period that won a Super Bowl by themselves.
And even
That's
with
like me,
Philadelphia,
that's like me getting mad because Mad Mike Sports was here before I was here. That's
and
like
that's
me
the
getting
thing with
mad at
the
Mike for that.
and that's the thing with the Philadelphia Eagles. Remember, Dallas Goddard went into 2024 as one of the top five ranked tight ends in the league,
Yep.
Huh?
What
and
you know
he
what?
buried.
I'm asking something
He,
more ignorant. Do you think Gronk was mad at Brady? Do you think Gronk was mad at Brady when they didn't win a game, but he was getting the ball thrown to him? No, because he knew eventually that type of thing they had going on was going to win. That's like Gronk coming to Brady. Damn, Brady, you throwing me the ball, but we ain't winning. You know I'm the man. Why you giving it to Edelman? Why you giving it to this person? Huh? That's stupid. It's stupid.
The more people you have involved in your offense, the more difficult for off defensive coordinators to scheme.
Thank you. And the less wear and tear you have on your players, which means longevity.
That's like I said, that's why 16 was so special. Matt Ryan was
Uh-huh.
spreading that ball around to everybody.
Everybody got a piece of that.
I want to say every one of the people that caught a pass had almost over 300 yards. If even just a part-time player, he had close to 300 yards.
There you go. And it all translated to that team being efficient as the reason why we got out on the Patriots.
Yeah, we had no depth on defense.
Because we had Bill Belichick over there scratching his head like, who the fuck are these? Where did these come from?
Until he pulled up that play sheet.
But right. And then no, until they call Shannon an egg drop, time to do it.
Oh my God.
we got your plane ready.
Why we bring that up again? I don't even talk about that game. Give me a headache thing when I think about
But yeah, we coming up on 2 hours, man. We're gonna get everybody's final thoughts in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to everybody on the panel. Like I said, Mad Mike Sports, Six Man K, Coach Unchained, Mr. Tactician 78. Um, Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for the regulators. Like I said, Coach, what y'all got going? You know, or you just gonna
it.
be on it with Magna?
He's gonna talk some about that roster thing that I did today.
Okay,
We're gonna go over that and whatever he bring up. So I don't know.
okay,
So,
okay. Uh, Kev, what you got?
man, ain't really got nothing much to say. Only thing I have to say is this year you got to bring that action.
Mhm.
And it as much and then, like you said, as much as everybody want to point the finger at Terrafano said this year it did exactly what everybody wanted them to do on a multitude of different talking points. So with this conversation we had tonight, this is the short version of what this conversation was tonight. The leash for these coaches is very small right now because the expectations have dictate what type of season that the Falcons need to have.
Mhm. Yep.
The hell.
Yes,
Oh,
war
never
room.
mind. Never mind. Never mind. I thought something popped up on the damn phone. That was something stupid. Never mind.
What you got, Mike?
So to kind of keep this in perspective of what the Atlanta Falcons did in 2016, um, they had 8 receivers, tight ends, running backs, all that. And that year, that caught over 200. As a matter of fact, let me rephrase that. Over, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. In 2016, they caught over 250 yards. Put that in perspective. You look at 2020, 2022, where Patrick Mahomes threw for over 5,000. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They had almost the identical season, but what happened? Matt Ryan spread that ball around, and you talking about one of the best seasons in career with Patrick Mahomes and Matt Ryan, almost identical. What happens is when you got more weapons, like Coach Good, you got more weapons on offense. You spread the ball around. That's why I was so frustrated to see guys like Ray McLeod with 70 catches. You're not spreading the ball around. You're not doing the defenses any justice. All right, you're not stressing them. Why? Because you keep throwing to the same 3 people, and that's why with a quarterback like Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, when they spread the ball around and get the ball into everybody's hands, that's more problematic than trying to get Kyle Pitts 120 catches, Julio Jones 120 catches this season. Spread that ball around. They need to get in everybody's hands. All right. And get the ball to your playmaker. You can get the ball to the playmakers, but you need to spread the ball around. I don't want to see a season where Ray McLeod got 70 catches again. Okay? We're going to be losing if that happens. Just go
Mm-hmm.
look at the 2022 Kansas City Chiefs and the 2016 Atlanta Falcons. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. See it for yourself.
Well, think about it like this, Mike. Let's say Kirk Cousins. Let's just say if Kirk Cousins would have ended the season as a starter. You know your boy Ray McLeod would have had 1,000 yard receiving
Oh,
season.
hell yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh yeah,
uh,
yeah.
He'd
That
have
that
had
definitely would have happened.
he'd have had more receiving yards than Drake London
Mm-hmm.
on the pace that was going at that time.
And they would have had a problem with that too. But we ain't gonna get into that. Pretty much. Um, we're gonna reiterate. The title is what it is. Swallow it how you will. But pay attention. Pay very close attention to what these coaches are talking about. Go do your homework. Go look at these shows. Do your homework because
it's free information.
what you see in training camp is gonna give you a direct bird's eye view of what you can expect to see throughout the season. And I'm gonna say it again: these first 3 preseason games are practice for our first divisional opponent, and we need to play Tampa like we need to play Tampa like we going to the playoffs the next game. To be honest with you, so y'all better do your homework. Y'all better do your homework. It's only gonna get harder to try to defend us now going forward.
Mm.
So
I ain't got nothing to follow that up with.
dang. Mucho Grundy said Beetlejuice. Ain't got no sense. But yeah, this the AOA. Now have fun minding your business. We out.
Merry Christmas.
Blue moon.
Public service announcement. We know what you did.